Declan lacks subtlety, but he loves this town like no one else. Old-timers in general already don't like me, and the article just made it worse. It's supposedly the spirit of coal. Doesn't really belong here anymore. He's owned this bar for almost a decade and still can't afford another employee.
Not really. You just quoted him a couple of times and I thought it sounded good.
Then you should read Great Expectations. It's a masterpiece, plain and simple.
Walter can be overwhelming at times, but he means well.
That's the guy who got the mine closed.
I can't believe he showed up after what happened.
Sammy! Oh, it's been ages.
Tara?
Oh, me? I've had this stomach thing lately, always churning. And this thing with Nick, his car went up like a Sunday ham. He burned alive, you know. Have you met Hugh? He took over the old pharmacy just after you left.
No.
The infamous Sam. I've read that article you wrote on the mine. You must have put in a lot of legwork on that.
It took reading thousands of public records, but a pattern emerged of willful negligence.
You are a bulldog. A dangerous man to anyone using power to exploit others.
That's nice of you to say.
Oh, don't hesitate to drop by the pharmacy sometime.
Oh, and Sam, you...
But for now, I have a feeling you're not here for us.
Oh, right. Don't be a stranger, Sam.
But no more than 3,000 milligrams a day.
I thought it was 4,000.
That's what crooked pharmacists want to do. That amount is damaging.
Nick and I spent so much money on this machine. Pretty courageous of him to try his luck in Basswood, given the state of things. Bess always had a soft spot for Nick. I think she liked his work ethic. Never known Tara to not take over a conversation.
So tragic, what happened to Nick. The details are horrible. They think he didn't die on impact. Instead, he roasted to death. Not enough to damage the bones, but, you know, not a pretty sight. Unless you're into that kind of thing, of course. I didn't mean to be rude, Sam.
It's all right, Tara. I don't like the sight of dead, burned people.
Oh, thank God. I wouldn't want to be rude on a day like this. Poor Sam. Now that Nick is gone, everyone in town hates you. I mean, I don't. Why would I? It's not my job you destroyed. You're not the cause of all my problems. I mean, that's what you did for pretty much all of Basswood, but not to me. So, I don't hate you.
Thanks for the confidence booster, Tara. I'll see you around.
So, Sam, how's life been treating you?
The same way it treats everyone. Some days are better than others.
Yeah, that's pretty optimistic, coming from you.
I try.
You staying in town long?
Not really. Why? You think I'm gonna disturb the peace or something?
Wouldn't be your first time. Have a nice evening, Sam.
So I had to throw them all out on their ear, and only then did I realize.
Ah, Samuel, my favorite ex-muckracker. Join us, join us.
How was the funeral?
Wasn't there. Setting up for this.
Everyone came, most of the town, it felt like. A sea of sad, wet eyes. I gave the eulogy. Felt hollow. So hollow. He worked for me for years. For years, my best reporter. What do you even say about him?
He loved people, sharing things, having fun together. Take video games. He didn't even care if it was some cooking game or shooting game or what, as long as we were playing together.
I always prefer my games analog. Chess, Go. You two did seem to bond over them, though.
It's the small things. Like he always kept his window down. Said cars made him claustrophobic. That's how he stays with us. The little details.
I remember the bar bets about that safe spot at Pac-Man. He got me one night.
Yeah, got me once too. Can't believe it's real.
Enough about Nicholas, enough. Tell me, how have you been, Sam? How have you really been?
I spend all day doing nothing. I don't even count days. They just blur together. Nick's death barely hit me. It was like a pinprick compared to just everything.
Time heals most wounds. Some it just makes worse. Sounds like you need something to pull you out of your rut.
Well, I think I've taken enough of your gents' time.
Go, mingle, circulate, but you must join us for an actual round later. You must.
Oh, Walter, can I ask you something?
Questions are the fountainhead of knowledge.
Nick's crash. Was there anything suspicious about it?
I asked myself the same thing. The very same thing. It did seem odd. Young Nicholas, a careful man in all things, including driving. I looked into it myself. You know what I found?
What?
A tragic accident with nothing amiss. I am both relieved and saddened to say.
Ah,
Life is rarely like a crime thriller, and while I don't mind you asking, some might find it a distasteful conversation at a man's memorial. Especially from you.
I'll keep that in mind.
See that you do, my boy. See that you do.
There was no love lost between Kathy and Nick since their divorce, but anyone can see she's taking his death hard. Kathy,
Sam, you actually came. You got some nerve. Joan texted me. Says she already went home after you upset her.
I was just... I don't know.
Look, Joan was really hurt when you left town. Nick and I were never close after the breakup, and Joan's never had a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Maybe don't break her heart this time when you leave town. All right?
Your daughter thinks Nick's crash doesn't make sense.
She's a little girl who lost her father. She's confused right now. Don't you go encouraging her, or worse, putting those thoughts in her head. I frankly thought you knew better.
Do you think she has a point?
I think you should stay away from her.
You're a lot like Pac-Man, Sam.
I consume everything in my path?
You find every last bite. The mine closing wasn't your fault. Your investigation just hurried things up. You probably saved some lives, you know.
Hi, Dad. Hi, Muley.
You piece of...
Language.
Is that a wedding ring?
I didn't know you were thinking about marriage.
Oh, it's just... It feels like the right thing to do.
Dad, what's the point of getting married?
Well, it's just one of those things people do, Bug. Here, you can play.
Someone has to show you grown-ups. Video games are the realm of the young.
Have you talked to Anna about this?
That's kind of the point. I'll talk to her about it when I show her the ring.
If you say so. Hey, just remember I'm here, right? If you need anything. Anything but my arcade secrets. Those I'll take to the grave.
Sorry we lost touch. Sorry I lost touch. Rest up, big guy. This photo always looked weird. Nick could never keep a straight face. He was more her best friend than a dad. I wonder who took that picture. Happier times. We drove straight to the sea after work on a Friday. Hell of a weekend. Bug was so small back then. Look at us. Those two were a great team.
Samuel, guess I lost the bet.
Bet?
Yeah, that bet you'd never come back to Basswood? Not after you went careening out of town like a bat out of hell the instant that article broke bad.
Okay, I'll bite. Tell me, Dennis, who did you have a standing bet with?
Myself. So I guess I also won.
What are you even doing here, Dennis? You and Nick become friends or something?
Nope. He thought I was a drunk, which I am. And I thought he was a hack, which he was.
This coming from the IT guy. Didn't know resetting passwords could give you a journalism degree.
It can. But it does give me less patience for people who sling mud my way. Relax. I'm just playing. At least tell me how you been.
Yeah, like you'd care.
Not too much. But suit yourself if you want to be like that. Anyway, cheers to Nick. A man that, unlike us, people actually liked. Speaking of which...
As time draws near, my dearest dear, when you and I must part, how little you know of the grief and woe in my poor aching heart. 'Tis but I suffer for your sake. Believe me, dear, that's true. I wish that you were staying here.
Anna used to play it almost every night. She stopped after her father's accident. There was no love lost between Kathy and Nick since their divorce, but anyone can see she's taking his death hard.
We haven't really talked in almost a decade, but it won't feel the same now.
Some people can play this game drunk. Anna was best at 3 beers.
People leave you or they die. That's the only way anything ends.
Has it really been 2 years since I saw her? She hasn't changed a bit. Anna?
Sam! I've missed you. Why'd it take so long for you to darken my doorstep?
Well, I'm here now. I'll have to try and come by more often. That's what I'm supposed to say, right? Even if not everyone around here would like it.
People around here have short tempers,
And long memories.
but most of them mean well. Sam, the mine was gonna close anyways. Maybe in a year or 2, 5, if the Lord has a sense of humor. It was gonna run dry or have an even bigger disaster. It wasn't your fault.
I wanted to help. I was trying to make things better.
You always do. Try, at least. When my father lost his legs, nobody knew the mine wasn't following regulations. You were the only one who started asking questions. Whenever people talk about you, he always says, you did the right thing.
Yeah, well, your dad's Joe. He's an oak. Unmoving and annoyingly supportive.
It wasn't just him. Nick thought your piece was great. He was actually jealous. He always wanted to write something that shook the pillars of heaven, as he used to put it. You know, Nick and I had moved in together. Started to get serious. But I think it's only now I realize how much I cared for him.
Yeah. That's, you two... It must be so hard.
Are you okay? You knew about us, right? He said he was gonna tell you.
Yeah, I knew, but knowing and, knowing are different.
Yeah, I guess they are. But this was all nice. The funeral, the wake. Walter did a good job. But it all just makes me feel heavy. It makes my heart hurt. Like Nick's memory has been laid on top of me and I'm still carrying him.
Nick's death. Do you know if he had any enemies? Working on anything dangerous? Whew. Now this is a real can of worms.
This is a wake.
I know that.
Do you? This isn't the time to be digging and pushing. You always do this. You always... I get it. You're still you, huh? You'll always still be you, Sam. I hope you never change, but I can't handle this right now. I'm gonna go home. I hate that his stuff is all over my house. Then drink and cry all night. You do what you need to do. See you around.
Samuel, come. Have a round with me.
I need a drink or two. Or three. And then I'll go.
Nick was the good sort. Sometimes the good sort die like the bad sort. It's not fair.
Mr. Higgs, good to see you. My condolences for your friend. Coming back in town must not have been easy. Officer Stevenson was telling me about your little welcoming committee.
It's all right. Declan saved the day.
We just don't want any troubles here. Not from you, not from anyone.
Don't worry, I won't stay in town long enough for that. One quick thing. Nick's death. Are you sure it was an accident?
Are we sure? What are you trying to say?
Now, Sam, I know you're a bird dog at heart and a bird dog hunts. But listen, Nick's death was an accident. Don't go riling people up. Don't you think you've done that enough to the nice folks around here?
I guess so. Enjoy your evening.
Does he really think?
You know Sam, he likes to prod and poke, chasing shadows that aren't even there.
It does look tempting.
So, Nick wasn't drunk, and me? I was drunk as a skunk.
Ah, Samuel. Join us. We were just sharing stories about dear Nicholas. And let me get your next round. Maybe Ethan has a suggestion for a worthy spirit?
Oh, spirits? Oh, no. Friends drink beer.
Yes, I suppose that's fitting. To dear Nicholas.
Yeah, he'd been coming in a lot lately. Sat right there, with a bad dad joke or two.
With friends, I guess? Maybe Anna.
No, by himself with his laptop as his date.
You never drank alone.
You two were close, though, right? Tell me about the man outside the bar.
He had a terrible memory. Couldn't remember names, dates, passwords. Kept his notes squirreled around him like a hoard.
He got married young and had a kid. Then broke up and dated my ex. And they were happy. In love. Anna clearly cared about him a lot.
Oh, my boy, you can't compare lives, just like you can't compare pain. They just simply are. The friend of man, the friend of truth. The friend of age, and guide of youth. Few hearts like his with virtue warmed, few hearts with knowledge so informed. If there's another world, he lives in bliss. If there is none, he made the best of this.
Burns. That from your eulogy?
You know Robert Burns? And no, just something I keep on hand for toasts.
Well, it's a good choice. And sorry about that, Sam. I wasn't trying to bring you down.
Everyone liked him. I think even Dennis liked him somewhat.
He always had a lot of friends. A few who couldn't make it sent flowers.
How's the family taking it?
Kathy seems haunted, spread overly thin, and I saw Joan storming off. Kathy has a lot to deal with, now more than ever. And who can prepare for losing a parent? Not a soul. Not a single soul.
It always seemed so easy for him. Every day he'd show up, smile, no matter what.
Of the qualities in a good man, that one deserves to be at the top.
Not a quality I possess.
This isn't a place for self-pity. This is a place for dour reflection.
Yes, and drinking.
To Nick, he was my friend. He will be missed, but not forgotten.
Hear, hear.
What a night! I'd say that went well. Ish. You got to chat with everyone you've been avoiding. Even if Joan got inside your head with her whole dad mystery death thing. Just shut up. Coming back to Basswood was your idea. You're the one in the driver's seat, Sam. I can't make you do anything. Deep down, you've been looking for a reason to come back. It's gonna be one of those long nights inside your head, huh? I am so very sorry. You stuck in existence, stuck in my head, just a terrible state you're in. Get your anger and sarcasm out of your system. Better you take it out on me than anyone else. You're back out in the world. Feeling emotions, fitting in, that's progress. Fuck the world. Pointless talking and more talking, and no one says what they mean. Go away. Let me enjoy being miserable. Just try and make sure you don't do anything stupid. No promises. Stay out.
You have 10 minutes before we charge you for another day.
Okay. What kind of monsters have a checkout at 9? What happened last night? My head. Pills plus drinking. That was not my best idea. Did I black out or what? I can't think straight. I need some water on my face. Clear it up.